Davidton on the East Rand has become a Bermuda Triangle of abducted and kidnapped youth during the initiation season. In recent months, this community has suffered at the hands of alleged unscrupulous initiation school owners who randomly kidnap young boys, allegedly with taxi drivers who transport them to Denelton in Limpopo province. This area in Limpopo is notorious for abducted youth. Our investigation leads us to one of the largest legal initiation schools in Limpopo, owned by the Mashego family.
Because what we have noticed, not all boys that are being adopted in their families, they are practicing this. It's just a money-making scheme. You'll find that in the same initiation schools, there are Xhosas, there are Sothos, there are Zulus. You ask yourselves, out of that, what would be the repercussions after the initiate? We have seen that happening in Orange Farm. When any boy would go to the initiation school, after that will then start undermining his own father.
17 tsa June. Maga kena spetlele ka di 18. Ka baka la gagwe moshimo yona ga utlwa gore ngwana gagwe o ile komeng. Ya nongge. Go ye go tla bashimanyana ba banyane mo batlong potso gore itumeleng o wetse. A o wetse nkae Tanalton. Kae ga Mashego. A go komeng ko lapeng. Retsa 10 commandments fela. Ye ya koma e thoma ka yena moshimonyana.
Shortly after the young men were abducted, these families say that they were approached by young boys working for the Mashegos to pay 2,500 rand for the upkeep of their children.
Wafika la wona la makhwenkwe amancinci. Mawafika la makhwenkwe amancinci sababiza amakhwenkwe ngoba singamadoda ethu. Amakhwenkwe apha kuthi. Bafika bathi abantwana bafuna i-staff eziyi6 i-baked beans ezintandathu nefish ezintandathu nezilofu ezisibhozo zesonke nedrink nestock sweet khwele emthini xa njalo nesweet ilekese so sathumela ke thina ke ngoba sizidenge uclever ke Mashego ngoba ubhadlile yena. So sorry to say that ngoba ibuhlungu inhliziyo yami andinanto esandleni hleli nogogo ogulayo nami ndiyagula ndikriphuko yami layo.
These families appealed to the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs as well as to the local chief to intervene. Many of them say they were pensioners and could not afford to pay the fees demanded by the Mashegos.
But we came to an agreement that there is some fees implications. There must be some payment there and there. But because parents do not have capital at this point in time, so it's a matter of necessity for Mr. Mashego to understand and agree with the parents that they are not going to pay anything for the children who left their respective homes to Koma without the permission of their parents. But what we have agreed upon as well is some measures to prevent this occurrence again. So we need to sit down with Mr. Mashego and try to come up with the better mechanism to prevent the future problems in terms of small boys attending initiation schools without the permission or consent of the parents.
Despite a number of testimonies from families who claim their young boys were kidnapped and taken to this initiation school run by the Mashegos, the owners of the school deny any wrongdoing.
I think there's a misplaced perception that people are taken against their will from Davidton to Denelton. And I must just say that on behalf of the Mashego family, it is not how we practice our Koma. The people come on their own, and I'm happy to say that today at this meeting with the parents of the initiates who made an allegation that their children were kidnapped, it became very clear that the children were not kidnapped. They came here on their own volition. Where people thought that this thing is all about financial gain, it's absolutely not. And as I've indicated, the Mashaykhs have also considered this matter, having considered the financial circumstances of the mothers of the people who are here, that they would like us to consider releasing their children ex gratia, and something that we have undertaken to the chief that we will consider and we will do and assist them in that regard.
We spoke to one of the taxi drivers from Durban who has been approached on numerous occasions by distraught families looking for their children. He's accused of taking their children to this man, who is one of the Mashaykhs and allegedly runs the initiation school.
We don't go and collect those kids. Those kids, they know that I've been here. So since I've been here, they just come and knock for me. For example, that we are stranded, we need a transport right now. How much do you want? Okay, I need something like 2.5. Okay, here's your 2.5. If they give me that cash, I can't just go all of those kids. Did your parents say you must go what? I just collect the cash and transport them to their destination. You see? And there's nothing wrong there because I am taking them. So since while we are here we come by our own means, and we don't call someone to, you must wake up and come to Mashaykh's property or Mashaykh's initiation school or something. No. Everyone comes here from himself.
Many of the families we spoke to say that even after the meeting with the Mashaykhs, they still were expected to pay for their children to be released.
I think winter is definitely one of those seasons where you can really show off your sartorial choices. You can start from a single layer of a shirt, actually starting with thermals, build it up with the shirts. You can have beautiful knits over the shirts, like we've done with Jay.
This film tells the story of a very, very significant political figure in the struggle for freedom in South Africa, who happened to be a woman. She was Nelson Mandela's wife.
The exhibition is an exploration into black femininity. Tabitha is a woman of color, and she is exploring the historical exploitation of the black female body.
Newtown Junction Mall hosted an epic contest in the cold where 3 top South African graffiti artists battled it out for the opportunity to become the Newtown Graffiti Face-Off Master.
For your weekly dose of entertainment news, tune into Trends every Saturday from 12 to 1.
Our investigation moved to Sedibeng and Foshville in the northwest, where authorities were clamping down on illegal operators of initiation schools in Gauteng. We accompanied the police and the Department of Traditional Affairs as they carry out their tasks, which is by no means made easy as the areas in which the schools generally operate are inaccessible to vehicles and the raids need to happen on foot.
They are in another direction. That's why they burn the fire everywhere.
So they're actually using fires or fell fires as a diversion?
Yeah, they use fire so that we mustn't find them where they are.
Is this area very popular for initiation schools?
Not really, because Merafong local municipality has an area where they allocated this initiation school to practice their initiation school. There's a specific area allocated for them to practice initiation school. So this is not an area allocated to them. So in a way they are here illegally.
Okay.
Yeah.
In episode 1 we saw what happens during these raids in the bush when Copter and SABC come across an illegal school. Often in these cases the boys are still in the hut and the owners of these schools seldom have permits to be running the schools or any form of oversight processes in place.
And then ndaqala ke ndasebenzela phezu kwala ncwadi liya uTumi andiphe yabona ndathi ke ngoku mna njani kanti Tumi undiqala ukushuthi kuthiwa sifakwa kanti nina nixelele ixesha lisekhona but thina anisi inform ixesha lisekhona nizosivala ngoku kuthiwa kule veki zabantwana bangena.
In addition, there is often resistance from the owners, as we discovered during one of the raids in Foshville, where a standoff ensued between the operators of the school and the authorities. A few months ago, Karabo Simelane went missing. His badly burnt body was discovered in this open veld on the 10th of July this year. Karabo was only 14 at the time of his abduction. According to traditional experts, the acceptable age for initiation is 16. We visited the bereaved Simelane family in Orange Farm a week after the death of their child.
Sanbona babsimeleho sanbona
ene bohloko ba teng batho ba Hoodkop maponisa teng ha ne ke aka teng if ba nthusitse ntate definitely ngwana ka nka be ke mothosi ke ile ka diteri ka Hoodkop se nkutlisa bohloko nna le ka diteri sa July wala ka ke tlothola pia he ka di 11 go shile ene ha shile jwang boti ya he collectwe ke maponisa a Hoodkop jwang Pasa tili ka ditaba tsa mephato mara ha ngwana a shile teng ba gona o dila ka ditupu hobane e bohloko tabe ne nkutlisa bo e kwa ka betla ha ke nahana nkutlisa bohloko wa ba sa nthusa ka nako eo ba gona go ba tswe fela ba lo le ba mela ditupu magama ya o phelanga ba gona ho seifa
Bamntana ngimthole okusimo ningasazi ukuthi ningathi uthini Ngaba umthana nimthole ashisiwe. What the reason why yini yenze yona la eSouth Africa mina ngazi. Hayi ubaba ukhwaba lo ngiyamfuna ngempela. Munilethela yena if justice ikhona ngicela ukuthi mumbambe muza nayo nizombamba ngesandla. Ene antshele ukuthi nimkolota. Ngoba manje ngiyabona ukuthi the way ambulali the reason not umbulala wabona singabantu siphilele ukufa. But lokho amiyenze khona mntanami. Hey. Iyabonakalisa ukuthi no ngiyamkolota lo baba. Kungcono ezazontshela ukuthi endoda isikoloto lesiya ngizokwazi ukuthi noma ngingenayo imali ngena kuyini kumbuso nithi hayi mlekeleleni bo sibhatala le ndoda ngoba manje hey kunzima.
During the interview with the Similane family, the name of a local traditional healer was mentioned repeatedly. Our investigator followed the trail of this traditional healer and discovered that more families had complained that their children were last seen at his initiation school in the Orange Farm area before they were reported dead. We speak to some of the families who say that they have lost young men at this initiation school. They ask us to hide their identity for fear of victimization.
Namanje angizizwa kahle ngawaza ngikhuluma lento ngizizwa inhlizwa ngiyabuhlungu kabi ngomntanami ngaba bengiyalindelanga ukuthi ingabe nguye ayingabe ukhona manje ungishile ngibheke ukuthi uyena osasangcwaba mina manje nangu ukuthi manje
This family says they are still grieving the loss of their son at the same initiation school owned by the said traditional healer. In the community of Orange Farm, illegal initiation schools instill fear in this community, who say that they go as far as hiding their children during the initiation season.
The Law Society has slammed notices sent to 4 universities to jack up standards or risk losing their LLB courses. The Council on Higher Education issued a stern warning to the universities to conform within 6 months.
I think it will affect the university. I think outside the law faculty, there's a funding issue.
It's been 112 years since Enoch Sontonga died as a relatively unknown composer, choir master and teacher. But today his legacy lives on through his greatest composition, Nkosi Sikeleli Afrika.
For all your news updates, stay tuned to Your World from Monday to Sunday.
While Denelton is a hotbed for the kidnapping of young people during initiation season, kidnappings also occur in Orange Farm and Sebokeng, but with a more sinister twist. Here, young boys are kidnapped and taken to initiation schools that are run by township gangs. The schools are used to add to the growing number of gang members in this area. We spoke to the South African Police Service about the community's concerns about illegal initiation school operators accused of killing and abducting young people with impunity.
We need statement to be put in the docket. We need people to come forward and identify the suspect. Remember when the cases, incidents happen, the police are not there. And we need people who can appoint the suspect who committed those crimes so that we can arrest them. So it might happen that the cases are delaying based on those facts. But if there are any other things which people think that the police are neglecting their work to do the job, people are welcome to report to the cluster commander. As much as we know that our branch commanders, they from time to time inspect dockets and make sure that all what is needed in the docket supposed to be found. And indeed, some of the community or young ones were kidnapped in Davidton and taken to Mpumalanga. And where the family members reported that to the authority. And the authority had to intervene. The authority, I'm talking about the COCTA, who intervene and make sure that no community member is going to be paid for those funds as their kids were forced to be there. So those is the issue which the relevant department is dealing with. From the police side, a case of kidnapping, when it's investigated, we make sure that those who are responsible are facing the law.
Last year, Special Assignment exposed the close relation that the illegal initiation schools in Sebokeng have with township gangs. This crisis has prompted the Culture and Language Rights Commission to investigate all the initiation schools in Gauteng province.
We realized that the community was no longer in control, that what is supposed to be a rite of passage into manhood was becoming a rite of passage into gangsterism. So we issued recommendations and instructions, especially in areas where it was really bad, to say, let's suspend every initiation process until further notice. So we asked them not to issue any permits because we felt there's no point in adding fuel to the fire, since nobody was saying this thing can be turned around in a matter of 2-3 months. So we said, let's suspend, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's then start afresh once we feel we've got all systems in place to protect young people, because the dangers were just too high.
The Commission says the outcomes of their investigation will be made public in October, and this report, as well as their recommendations to government, will serve as a vehicle to stop the spread of illegal initiation schools.
We believe the solution is that the municipality must take control. There are no traditional leaders in the area. It happens. Cape Town, there are no traditional leaders, but they are running a credible system there. And we're saying we're using that as a pilot to see how the community itself can take over control of a site that has been designed for initiation. And our proposal is that once there's a site demarcated for initiation, anything happening outside that site is illegal. So it's easy to deal with it. When people see that there's something happening, they immediately tell the municipality or the police, and then those are known to be illegal. Once you are operating from a designated area, it's easy to monitor. And then anyone can come in, the health services can come in, people can assure that there's water there and that no one is dying out of dehydration. There's no criminality, people can be searched coming in and out to make sure there are no guns, there are no weapons. And in that way, we feel will protect young people.
Meanwhile, families that have lost loved ones are left disillusioned with this rite of passage that has become corrupted by greedy school operators and criminal elements.
Lento yendaba solo kwenzeka lento lena lumntana mi angisayithandi kukanye ngoba lento lena manje into ebuhlungu ngoba ibulala abantwana babantu ngoba lento lena yendaba eqaleni kokusinto ibulala abantu okuyinto right ngoba umuntu abeke entabeni abakabuya entabeni bekebuya anuthi umthetho manje khona manje kuye entabeni kufana noma kuya kwamanje kwabuya nalapha entabeni umthetho ungekho.
The act of travel is an eye-opening activity that not only expands your view but is a major part of any country's economy. South Africa's spectacular scenery, friendly people and world-class infrastructure make it one of the most desired destinations in the world. Despite tough global economic conditions, the tourism sector is steadily growing. But the idea that one has to go far in order to explore is quickly changing as the sector encourages local exploration. South Africa's history has been one of confrontation, but is now also known as one of reconciliation. World-class sites have been established to commemorate the country's past and celebrate its newfound unity. An area of tourism that is often overlooked is the question of the arts and tourism. Although many cities have not taken advantage of this element to attract international visitors, the domestic artistic tourism is fast becoming a key drawcard for local exploration. A-grade exhibition centers are creating modern spaces to showcase what makes up the African expression. A good dose of creative capital is playing a major role as entrepreneurs create new and exciting ways to sell their products, thus creating new vibrant local spaces that are changing the face of our communities. South Africa has earmarked tourism as a key sector with excellent potential for growth, and a vast amount is being poured into changing the face of our spaces, making them vibrant, urban, and exciting.